question. First, I want to start with, I kind of had an experience first before I had the Course in Miracles, and I had such a tremendous experience. I wanted to find out what the Course was about, because I had it for 6 months, but I never read it. It sat in my closet. I'd read everything else I could get my hands on, but for some reason I never picked that particular book up. And when I was looking through it, I realized that it was primary two things. One is forgiveness, and the other thing is, this I have done, this I will undo. So it was amazing. It was like right away I was given the answer. I asked, what is this book about? And I leafed through it really quickly, and that's what I found. And my whole life I always thought that something was done to me, that I was justified in my actions and how I was to other people based on a past reference. And I really believe that something was done to me. I had my story of my mother abandoning me, my father being abusive, all the ideas that were wrapped around that. And what I didn't realize is I was using that to justify my actions from then on out. Until I realized, and I love it because I was asking questions, well, what is forgiveness? And there is, in the lessons, I believe it says, what is forgiveness, or it talks about forgiveness. And it says to forgive your brother for what he never had done. And I have to say, I also learned through the 12-step program that, for one, I didn't think I had any grievances or resentments, that I actually needed to forgive anyone or forgive myself, because I thought I was holy and spiritual. And then I realized through doing the 12-step program that I had like probably 150 grievances with people, places, and things. And the root awakening is when I realized that all the things that I hated about my fellow or my brother is actually what I hated about myself. But I didn't realize that until I put pen to paper, and I realized I resented myself because I was the liar, I was the cheat, I was the con, I was the adulterer, I was all the things that I hated about everyone else. So then it's like it came back on me, because I was projecting all that blame on others, and it came back on me where I carried that guilt and the shame and the blame and everything else. And it wasn't until I did my fifth step that all that came out, that the hatred was actually directed at myself and ultimately at God, because He's the one who stuck me in this place. So forgiveness is to realize, well, wait a minute, there isn't such a place this, which is another very hard thing for the mind to wrap around. So to forgive, if this was real, it's unforgivable. So I have to come to the experience that this isn't real. How do I do that? I have to ask my higher power. I have to ask what I call God. Maybe you call it your higher power, the universe, nature, whatever you call it, doesn't matter. Ask, how can I forgive this? Or show me that it isn't real. Show me that it's an illusion. And I had the Eastern teachings of that this is Maya, this is an illusion, that there is no world, but I never really knew what it meant. And I actually see that through the Course that the world is just a projection of my mind. And as I take more responsibility and ask to be shown, it's shown more and more that this is just me. And then I can actually realize that I was only crucifying myself the whole time, which, believe it or not, is a gift, because if I'm responsible for it, I can also stop it. So I actually have all power in heaven and earth, and now I use that to forgive myself and then extend forgiveness. And unfortunately, I'm in the process of doing it all the time now. It's a learning process, and I use the Holy Spirit to do that. And I'm out of time. Thank you.